Rocketman is a story of Elton John, his childhood when he discovers his prodigious musical skill, his struggle to find success, his eventual success, and then downfall to drugs and alcohol, and then his comeback. It's a music biopic that checks off everything on the music biopic checklist, but does it do it well? The framing device is John taking part in a group therapy session in rehab where he answers questions and tries to figure out why he is the way that he is and how he came to be in this place. Now, I like Elton John. I like his music. Now, what I mean when I say that I like his music is that I know about 7 songs that are his and I like them a lot. I like songs, not particular artists, and especially not albums. Usually what happens is someone will ask me if I like a particular song and I'll say, I've never heard that song. And then they'll look at me like I'm crazy and say, how can you not know that song? And then they'll play the song and that's when I'll learn that I do know the song. I've heard it before. I've probably heard it many times before. I just didn't know what it was called or who sang it. So that's my basic relationship with music. So as this film went on, I'd hear songs and I'd just be like, oh, that's an Elton John song. Cool. I really like Taron Egerton as an actor and I thought he was great in this. I think he looks close enough to a young Elton John and apparently he does sing all the songs in the film, which is very impressive because he sounds uncannily like John when he sings in the film. The singing is good, but the performance feels like more than just imitation. It's a very emotional part and Egerton has to sell a lot of difficult scenes that take place in John's private life. I especially like any time where he has to try to hold back tears or when he just gets completely gutted by something that another character has said. I'm not sure how much he sounds like John when he speaks, but when he shouts, you can really hear John's sound, his voice in the strain of that. Jamie Bell plays John's songwriter and I really like their relationship. It's like they're best friends and almost brothers. John Reid appears in this film. Now he's Elton John's manager. Now, this guy was played by Littlefinger in Bohemian Rhapsody and he was played by Rob Stark in this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that inevitable Michael Flatley biopic. I just want to know who's going to play this guy next. I thought that Bryce Dallas Howard was a strange choice to play John's mother, but she actually plays an English woman very convincingly. But I also think they didn't do a good enough job showing how she was having a negative impact on John's life early on. The scene where he calls her on the phone to tell her that he's gay for the first time is really powerful. It's a good scene. He finally manages to spit it out and she says that she already knew that. Like it was obvious, like it's no big deal. And you think, oh, that's nice and it's a bit unexpected. But then she just completely crushes him. And it's like I said, it's a good scene, but it comes a wee bit out of nowhere for her character to be that harsh. Dexter Fletcher does a great job directing this, and I like the choice to make it into a kind of musical. And it's actually very funny, and I would probably recommend it on that alone. I like the way the camera moves around the environment during the musical scenes when there's singing and dancing. It gives the scenes a lot of energy that matches the songs and the attitude of John at that point in the story. I like Bohemian Rhapsody fine, mainly because of the lead performance, especially in the scenes where he's on stage, and because of Queen's music. This had the performance and the music and the style and heart that didn't rely as much, at least to me, on knowledge of the artist's real life story. However, it tries to match John's songs with whatever's happening in that particular scene that the song is playing in, and it doesn't really work. Songs in musicals are usually very clear in their meaning and they're used to advance the plot and explain character. John's songs are more vague and open to interpretation than that. And it's edited in a way that sometimes I forget that it's a musical, so when people start singing and dancing, it can be a bit jarring. Like I said, it follows the standard music biopic playbook, but I think it does enough differently so it at least feels different. I love the bit where Egerton just explodes at Jamie Bell and tells him that he's not that important because he's just a songwriter, and then he immediately feels bad and apologises and is immediately forgiven. I thought that was great. You don't usually get to see that in any film. But then later on they do actually have a falling out, and it's a bit disappointing because I thought they were going to avoid that particular trope. They don't shy away from the more explicitly gay parts of Elton John's life. Like, it kind of felt like they were doing a bit in Bohemian Rhapsody, although that film had a 12 rating and this one has a 15. There's also a lot more swearing in this one, so it feels more realistically like the life of a rock star. I didn't think that the ending fit with the rest of the film, and I mean the very end, where they show photographs of the real life Elton John and then the subtitles tell us how things turned out for him. It talks about his AIDS foundation and how it's helped a lot of people, and that's great. But there was no point before that in the film where AIDS was ever even mentioned. It's just a bit confusing and out of place. I'm going to give Rocketman an A-. I really liked it and I will probably watch it again when it comes out in Blu-ray. It's nice to know a bit more about Elton John's life, but bear in mind that he was heavily involved with the production of the film, so take everything with a grain of salt. Thanks very much for watching my review. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out. It helps the channel grow. Follow me on Twitter at Looked at the Movies. Please comment down below. Let me know if you've seen Rocketman, what you thought of it, if you agree or disagree with any of my points, or if you have any points of your own. Also, let me know, who do you think should get a music biopic next? I'll be back soon with more reviews, and I'll see you then.